We're going to go and check out the Gypsy Queen, and it is the design model for a gentleman here that has made kind of a gypsy caravan type system, but something really unique that folds down for travel. He has a website, so I will go ahead and put that in here. He sells plans for building these yourself, and this is the original that he built and traveled and showed off. Funny enough, her maiden voyage was September 8th last year, which is my birthday, so I feel like there's something kindred here. I love how when she's folded down she kind of looks like a boat, and then she folds up and looks like a little hobbit home or gypsy caravan or something along those lines. Really neat. We've arrived here at the Gypsy Queen maker's home.
Welcome. I almost feel like I know you well.
I know, we've had a lot of good conversation already.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
And,
This is so cool. Yeah.
It's got a Dutch door.
Oh, lovely.
So you can knock it over like that. And that screen swings shut, and there's zip there, and there's magnets.
Uh-huh.
So, just a pass through.
Okay.
You just walk through it.
That's cool. So it just opens everything.
Yeah.
Great.
We got the pull. It's lots of storage underneath. I see in your pictures you have a dog.
Yes.
There could be a dog bed down there. That's a trifold mattress that my daughter sleeps on.
This is brilliant. I love this.
It comes out quite a long ways.
Right, right.
You know, this far you don't even need to brace it.
Right. I love it. Oh, it's so
There's 110 power. There's 12 volt power. Several different places.
wonderful.
12 volt cooler. To knock it down, the only thing you need to remove is you put the cooler on the floor in the car.
Okay.
And then take the pots off the hooks and everything, and then everything's fine.
Look at this. I love it. It's like a boat.
You know, the same use of space. You gotta do like a boat. More in here.
Wonderful.
I tend to keep, you know, all the mechanicals in there, and I keep the food stuff in here because you know, pots and pans would go in here, and I got dividers.
Oh, wonderful.
Glass,
Yes.
you know, plates here,
To keep everything
and bowls
in place.
and all that stuff. Yeah. This is for the stove.
Okay. Yep.
And you can put, you know, spices in there. You can cook here because I got a heat shield. But I tend to cook underneath the awning when possible, so I kept it a flexible, a portable stove.
Right.
5-gallon water source, good underneath. And then, you know, it's a little hand pump, so, you know, no power.
Right.
You could put a 12 volt battery pump, you know, electric pump on it if you wanted. So I got 12 volt, 110. There's the 12 volt for this. What's that?
Okay.
That's fuses and the converter from 110 to 12 volt.
Okay.
I got bigger stakes for if you're in sandier soil for the awning. I use the little wire ones in this firmer ground.
Right.
Yeah, this is insulated.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's you kind of hear
Yeah,
it.
I felt it when it. Yeah.
So this is the decorative fabric. Then there's that foil bubble wrap. And they have single and they double. So you have this decorative layer, then you have the insulation, then you have the waterproof layer. That way, when the sun's beating down on you, you're not getting hot.
Right.
If it's cold, this is enough to keep you warm.
Right.
I've got a fan. I've got 3 points of ventilation, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
There have been people with these kind of bow tops that have chosen to put in an air conditioner. If you come out here, that's what people do. They'll build on the flat of this.
Oh, right.
And so that it blows in from the baseboard. And so, you know, you don't have to deal with anything. You may have to, I don't know, you get a small one, or maybe one that you just unhook when you're traveling. I haven't explored it too far. Or on the back window.
Right. Right.
These are decorative.
Okay. Yeah.
But, you know, the 110 comes in here. And I can run this whole thing on my Deep Cycle Marine battery for a full weekend easy. The cooler will challenge it. As a protective layer for the screen. And at night, you just take it down.
Oh, okay.
You know, if the weather's bad or you want privacy.
Right, that's brilliant.
Just that easy.
That's brilliant.
You know, and then put it back up. And I just go there. And
Love it. What a great design. You really have created something brilliant here.
well, originally when I did it, I made it so that it folded up and like a shade, and it folded up, and so you had this flap up, and it actually ended up acting a little bit like a rain gutter, and the water would just go off to the side.
Right.
But it was so much more effort than, and I think aesthetically this looks more pleasing too.
And it still gives you a bit of privacy while you have the air.
Yeah, you got the airflow. There's you know, light rain unless you have a sideways rain.
Right. And then at that point you just take it down.
This is redundant with it's a tie down bar.
Oh, okay.
And you can see it's used on this side.
Right.
But I made it repetitive, and then it's more decorative on that side.
Right.
And when it comes up and down, there's a little bit of give and take on this. So I made it so that it flexed.
Oh, wonderful.
So
Flex is important for anything on the road as well.
Yeah. When I take the awning down, and I've got the awning set up for rain right now.
Okay.
If it's a sun awning, I like the swag, the little belly. It looks prettier, but it can catch the water. You can always tip it and have the water drain off to one side. Or I made this bow so the water sheds off to the sides. That comes down in about 2 minutes.
So this is actually, does it go in or go up?
I just float it. I just throw it over the top. I'll put a cord on that little hole, and I'll throw it over, drag it over, and it'll rest on the top.
Oh, it's the perfect size to just lay over.
Yep. And then I'll take this off. The other side off, and I'll throw that over.
Okay.
Same way with the rope that's in the front.
Okay, so then as it folds down, it just.
And then when this opens up, that opens up that seam.
Okay.
Now then, this opens up. Under power, this larger unit opens up. Once it's opened up at about, not too far, just about 3/4. Then I fold in the sides because it's hinged right here.
Okay.
This is a drip edge so that water doesn't come in on the joint. You can see the hinges.
Oh yeah.
So they fold down. And then the top comes back down on top of it. "15 minutes by yourself holding the beer." So
Love it.
you just push on through.
I don't even have to open it.
Nope.
Just walk through.
Nope. Just walk on through.
All the little details, little shows.
And even if it is a little bit of rain when you have to knock it down, it's open such a short period of time that I've never had a problem with anything getting, really. It's very watertight.
Right.
This joint is completely protected because the roof is continuous from here all the way over to the end of the eyebrow.
Right.
This overlap from the secondary roof, the first roof to the secondary roof, protects this seam. And then all these joints are protected by overlap, the awnings that 6-8 inches, of overlap.
So this has to do with when you're putting walls up and down?
I don't have to have this on. I put it on and I found out it was a bit over engineering, but but it just helps hold everything together if you're here for any length of time.
So it's just kind of a final lock on.
Yeah, because
Right.
But if you're popping up for a weekend, you don't even need to have that.
Right. But it just gives you a little
And
more
I just
stability.
keep those right there when I'm traveling.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So we have one on each side. Okay.
And that award, I took it down to the Tiny House Festival in Tennessee and won the Best Bohemian Living Award with it. The only camper at the entire show to win an award.
Oh, really? Well, you deserved it for sure.
Thank you.
Oh, I just love it.
Yeah, and the unit, once you get it ready, you drop that down.
Okay.
I had this stored back in here. This would come out.
Okay.
I've used the same pin, plug it in there. That would go up those two. And then with the key fob, I'd hit the key fob and it would push the top up. I'd fold in the two sides, then it would come down and it would rest like this, traveling with everything down, ready for you to push it up again. Okay. So, when you're traveling, everything's down and this is just sitting here.
Waiting for you to set up again.
Waiting for you to hit the key fob and set it back up.
Okay.
Originally, it only worked if you were on shore power. You can do it manually. I've got there's a spot here where, and I have a pole that you can attach to this.
Okay.
Push it up manually, do it all, but it's a little awkward.
Right.
I wanted to make it easy for anybody.
Right.
But if you're stuck with absolutely no power, there's a backup. But this year I ended up changing it so it works off of 110 or your battery. So if you're roughing it and and your battery's in good shape, it'll go up and down with the battery.
Yeah.
So, you
Just
know,
the feel, it's so open and cozy.
well,
and
I mean,
yeah.
this is the biggest small camper you'll find.
Right.
And this pole is double duty. I use this to not only to hold this, you can put curtains on it, but it's also what I use to help, you know, put it up and down. You know, like I don't have to climb up on the bed to grab that. I can use the pole, grab that little ring, and pull it down.
Oh, right.
Everything is very functional.
Right.
And 1,700 pounds loaded. That was with all my provisions in it. Out of town, I hit the scale.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks
Oop.
like a boat when it's traveling. I love
It
that
does.
element.
Yep.
As someone who loves the water so dearly.
And over here, this is painted wood, but it's epoxy coated, so it's going to last a long time. I treated it as if it was building a boat. Down here, I decided to use aluminum. That's factory painted aluminum, so it's got a good finish. It helps, you know, protect it from the road crud and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Got the stab jacks that are built right into it to help stabilize things. Little storage locker.
Oh, great.
You know, where you can have the ropes, the wedges for your
I love it. It even looks like a boat even more with that little.
Well, yeah,
cubby
this is a nautical hatch.
It is, isn't it? Totally.
But I wanted a waterproof hatch.
Yeah.
Because you're in the front where things are getting.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, gosh, it's adorable. Did you see this? And the windows just.
Then you can lock. You know, these pads and the cover are what I use for getting it road ready, and you can see they kind of tuck up nice and out of the way when you're not using it.
Okay. What do you mean? Tell me what that's for exactly.
All right, when the two sides come in and the units come down, they'll sit on top of each other.
Right. Oh, so they're like
And
cushions.
so these pads act as kind of sliding barriers between it, so that the fabric doesn't rub a hole in each other.
Right.
And then these in the front. There's a little bit of an arch here. When you put the cover on, I was noticing that you get a little concavity because the road wind is pushing in.
Right.
And so those are filler pads
Mm-hmm.
to make that more solid, so that you're more aerodynamic. You know, you don't need them. I chose to make them.
Right.
But if they ever got in your way, you didn't have to have them.
But yeah, it's helpful for sure. It's great.
And then these units here, you know, I only finger tight them because I don't need any tools. And when I take these four out, that gives the clearance for these to fold past this without opening all the way up so wide.
Okay.
That was one of the tricks I had to come up with to make this all work. I had, okay, how do I get clearance? How, you know, when you have two things occupying in the same space.
Right.
And just like that.
Yeah.
So that's it in a nutshell, unless you have any questions.
I'm a bit wow right now.
My daughter came up with the mandala print for the inside.
Okay.
From that, we drew the colors, for the rest of it. Then my daughter chose the colors on the exterior as well. She's a very, very artistic girl.
Love it.
I applied it. I'm a painter and carpenter by trade.
Okay.
Bent all my own ash. Everything is handmade. I mean, back over here, I didn't show you. When you're done, you just put it in the pin. You know, and then you find the other side,
Yeah.
and you're ready to go. You don't even have to attach it.
Right.
I just keep that thing done getting this place. So that's the Queen.
She is. Oh, I'm sitting here dreaming and thinking. Forgive me. Thanks for being here.